Hi, I'm Chaya Hinter, and I'd like to introduce you a little bit to the Jewish Positive Thinking Workshops. Baruch Hashem, over the last 4 years, I've been teaching the workshop that I'm soon going to explain to you, and the feedback that I have received from women all around the world, from Los Angeles to London, and from Pennsylvania to Australia, has encouraged me that the tools that we're learning, the tools that we share, are truly tools that are necessary in our generation to help us to live happy and healthy lives. The workshop is divided into 11 sessions, and each session is divided into convenient between 20-minute to 35-minute installments, so that you can view as much as you want to at each particular viewing, and so that you can understand exactly where you're up to the next time you want to come back. The topics that we deal with are faith and trust in Hashem. What we need to believe, how to believe, and how that belief affects the way that we feel. And this is the important part, that the way that we feel is mostly determined by the way that we think. The Alter from Kelm, with Simcha Zisel Breda, many years ago, was brought down by the Michter Mieliyahu. He says that the Yetzer Hara understands very well the power of our imagination. And he uses our imagination constantly to trip us up, to take us after our eyes and our heart. And he says we need to harness the power of our imagination for the good, for the side of Kedusha, for the side of holiness. This is what we learn to do. In Jewish positive thinking, we learn how to think in our minds, how to use our imagination in a way that is Jewish, in a way that is authentically Jewish, in a way that is connected to the way our traditional sources show us that we should use our thinking. And the results speak for themselves. When one woman, there's so many different stories. One woman shared with me that she, Baruch Hashem, made chasana, and the way that she experienced the chasana was so different from the way that she experienced the first chasana that she had made. She felt calm, she felt she could rely on Hashem, she felt that Hashem was holding her hand through the whole event. And she came away with an enhanced love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and feeling closer to her family and to her friends. When we learn to communicate, and not just to communicate, but to transmit positive feelings and love, we can enhance our relationships, we can transform them beyond anything we could have imagined to be possible. Marriages, relationships with children who might even be difficult children, relationships with our siblings and with our own parents can be enhanced, can become beautiful relationships even if they seem to be floundering before. When we learn the tools that are available to us and that are rooted in our tradition that belongs to us. I'd be very happy if you would like to join me, and I'm always available to those ladies who are in our workshops to give feedback, to help you, to apply all the different tools that we'll be learning to our individual struggles. All of us are different, and not only are we different from each other, but we're different from ourselves each day. One day we wake up feeling on top of the world, and one day we feel that we can't even get out of bed. How do we apply these tools to our various life situations and to the different kinds of circumstances that we find ourselves in when we're young mothers, or when we're marrying off our children, when we're grandmothers already? How do we make those changes and take it all in our stride? The tools that we're going to be discussing in Jewish Positive Thinking can really help us to look forward with confidence to a life filled with Hashem's blessings, with a life where Hashem will guide us, and where we will be able to look back and say, thank you, Kadosh Baruch Hu, for all of the companionship that you gave me, for all of the help that you gave me, and for all the guidance that you gave me in my life. The audios of all of the workshops are available as a download. You don't have to be online in order to listen to the workshops. You can put them onto a phone, onto a computer, onto a laptop, and listen to them as you drive, or listen to them as you do housework at home. You can even just rest and relax and listen to them. And the guided imagery exercises, which are the way, they are the means where we actually take control of our own imagination, rather than allowing it to be controlled by Coca-Cola. It's life, right? Okay? Rather than being controlled by Madison Avenue, where we take control of our own imagination and guide it to where we want it to go. We want to guide our imagination to judge others favorably. We want to guide our imagination to trust in Hashem. But what can we do? Because our imagination is running wild with fears and anxieties and worries. But when we take control through using the guided imagery exercises, where we learn how to guide our own imagination to where we want it to go, then we experience the feelings that we decide that we want to experience. And these guided imagery exercises are also available in download, so that you can put them on your own little MP3 or any other device you like and listen to them in the privacy of your own room, or whenever you have a few minutes traveling, or any other opportunity that comes your way. So that throughout the day, whenever you feel you need a little break, whenever you feel you need to recharge, to reconnect to your innate positive self, you can just take that break and do that. Jewish positive thinking is about connecting ourselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, connecting ourselves to those around us that we want to be connected to, and connecting ourselves more deeply to our own selves. I hope you'll join us.